Welcome back to KBUZZPOP, where we bring you the most intense, jaw-dropping, and heartfelt stories straight from the K-entertainment world. Today, what we are about to reveal isn't just another celebrity headline or gossip-filled rumor. It's a moment that shook fans worldwide. It's the truth behind the moment Cha Eun Woo collapsed, and how, in that moment of pure vulnerability, the world finally saw who he truly is. Imagine this: the lights were blinding, the stage was set, thousands of fans were screaming his name. Eun Woo, ever the professional, smiled and waved, the very picture of perfection. But behind that angelic face, something was unraveling. Something had been for a while. And no one, not even his closest colleagues, knew just how close he was to the edge. For fans who have followed his journey from his early days in ASTRO to becoming a household name in both K-dramas and fashion, Eun Woo has always seemed unshakable. The ever-smiling idol, the man who never faltered, even under enormous pressure. But that illusion shattered on that fateful day when he collapsed backstage during what was supposed to be a routine promotional event in Busan. Let's go back a few days before the collapse. Eun Woo had been on a relentless schedule. 2 drama shoots simultaneously, brand campaigns, international travel, and rehearsals for an upcoming fan meeting tour. Insiders now say he hadn't slept properly in days. One stylist reported that during a fitting session, he sat in silence for 20 minutes, staring at the floor, only responding with nods. They thought he was just tired. They didn't realize how serious it had gotten. Now, let me ask you, KBUZZ fam, how many of us hide our pain with a smile? How often do we pretend everything is fine when inside, we're breaking? Eun Woo was doing just that. A true reflection of the quiet battles so many of us fight. Only, he was doing it with the weight of an entire fandom, the expectations of agencies, brands, networks, and an entire nation on his shoulders. On the day of the incident, Eun Woo had been up since 3 a.m. for a commercial shoot, followed by a fan signing event that began at 1 p.m. He greeted everyone with grace, posed for selfies, gave warm smiles, and even joked with fans. But eyewitnesses noticed something different. He looked paler than usual. He was sweating, even though the room was air-conditioned. His hands trembled slightly as he signed merchandise. And then, suddenly, he staggered. Before anyone could react, he collapsed, face first onto the floor. Chaos erupted. Security rushed in. Fans screamed. Staff called for medics. The moment was caught on dozens of phones, but out of respect, most fans deleted the footage. Some clips, however, did surface online briefly, sending the internet into meltdown. Hashtags like #ProtectChaEunWoo and #GetWellSoonEunWoo trended globally within minutes. The agency released a short statement hours later. Cha Eun Woo experienced extreme exhaustion and dehydration. He is currently receiving medical attention and resting. We ask for your understanding. But it wasn't enough. Fans wanted the truth. They wanted to know what led their idol, often seen as invincible, to break down like that. And soon, whispers started to surface. A manager, under anonymity, shared that Eun Woo had been pushing himself harder than ever before. He refused to cancel schedules. Even when his voice cracked during drama shoots, even when he was visibly dizzy, he said, "I'm okay. Let's go on." That's the kind of person he is. Too strong for his own good. But here's where things get even more emotional. After he was stabilized and regained consciousness at the hospital, Eun Woo did something that stunned everyone. He reportedly broke down in tears, not from pain, but from guilt. "I let them down," he kept repeating, referring to fans, staff, and his team. "They came to see me, and I collapsed in front of them." Can you imagine that kind of pressure? That overwhelming sense of responsibility, even when your body is clearly telling you to stop. In that raw, vulnerable moment, Cha Eun Woo was no longer just a perfect face or a flawless performer. He was human. And perhaps, for the first time, the world saw Lee Dong-min, the man behind the stage name Cha Eun Woo. His mother was one of the first people to arrive at the hospital. Sources say she held his hand and whispered, "You're not a machine. You're my son. You need to live, not just perform." Those words reportedly broke him. For someone so used to carrying the weight of other people's expectations, he suddenly found himself surrounded by nothing but unconditional love. In the days that followed, the agency officially postponed all his activities. Eun Woo himself posted a handwritten letter on Weverse, saying, "Aroha, I'm sorry I worried you. I thought I could keep going. I thought I had to be strong, but maybe strength also means knowing when to rest. Thank you for loving me, even when I fall." The letter was raw, sincere, and vulnerable. Fans poured in millions of responses, telling him he wasn't alone, that he didn't need to be perfect, and that they loved him just the same, perhaps more, after seeing this side of him. This incident sparked a larger conversation in the entertainment industry. Idols, actors, and musicians began speaking up about burnout. Eun Woo unknowingly became the catalyst for a silent revolution in how artists approach mental health. Several agencies announced internal reforms to prevent overworking their talents. It wasn't just a moment of personal pain, it was a wake-up call for the entire industry. Now let's pause for a moment, KBUZZPOP family. Let's reflect. What would you have said to Eun Woo if you were in that hospital room? Would you have told him to rest? To cry freely? To know that even the brightest stars need time in the dark? Drop your messages in the comments below. Write to Eun Woo as if he's reading. Because who knows? Maybe he will. Since his recovery, Cha Eun Woo has been spotted a few times, low-key outings, mostly with family. He hasn't returned to work yet, and his agency says he's still healing. But fans who've seen him say he looks different. Softer. Calmer. One even said, "It's like he's finally breathing for himself." And that's the beauty of this story, isn't it? That sometimes, breaking down doesn't mean failure, it means transformation. It means finally taking off the mask and letting people see the real you. The world always saw Cha Eun Woo as a prince, a perfect idol, an untouchable star. But now, they see Lee Dong-min, a man with fears, flaws, strength, and a heart that beats for the people who love him. So to all the Arohas, and to everyone who's ever had to pretend to be okay when they weren't, this story is for you. And to Cha Eun Woo, thank you for showing us that it's okay to fall, as long as you get back up again. Before you go, KBuzz fam, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and share this with someone who needs to hear that they're not alone. Let's keep supporting not just the stars we love, but the real people behind the fame. Until next time, stay kind, stay real, and remember, even stars need rest.